Welcome back, my fellow duplicates. So, in the last episode here, we started to build up these steam turbines right here, and those are going to hopefully harvest some thermal energy from the rockets that fly through these silos every time they launch. However, to keep the rockets up and running, we're going to need a new fuel source, and that's going to be liquid oxygen. Or so to say, we already have, well, it's half of the fuel, right? We've got petroleum, and then we need liquid oxygen because our oxalite our source is pretty much run out. Now, I could make more oxalite, I could do that, but I could just as easily make liquid oxygen, so that's what I'm going to do. However, I have a different idea of how I want to handle the liquid oxygen this time as compared to how I've done it in the past. So the system I want to build today is unlike anything I've done before. What I want to do is have the smallest possible chilling chamber that I can build, or a relatively small one, and then I'm going to store that into a tank that has a continuous fuel loop. So it'll actually run over here to the tank, like this. Kind of like this right here, except for rather than just ending where it needs to go into the tank, it's actually going to continue to loop around back and forth. And what I'm going to do is monitor that liquid's temperature so that everything that's running through that fuel line stays at a consistent temperature. So that way I don't end up with bursted lines just because it ends up getting too hot at some point. It's kind of an idea I had last time, I just didn't have the chance to build it, so we'll see if it works. Speaking of rockets, this one is back. Boom, just like that. Let's take a look at these temperatures. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's some steam. Come on. Give me a little bit more steam. I have 84 kilograms of steam right there. So I guess we're just kind of boiling off the brine at the moment. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. 100 kilograms of steam. Close, but not quite. Okay, anyhow, the liquid loop here is going to run just like this, and then I'm going to have my tank right on top of this, so the fluid will run into the tank, down, through the pipes. You know what, let me just build it, and I'll show you. Alright, so I do have a fair amount of ingredients here as far as iso resin is concerned. Reed fibers is the one thing that's a little bit low, but I did up the priority on my ranch down below, so I should have some more of that rolling in. So insulation right here is what I'm going to be using for this build in a couple of key spots as I'm trying to really monitor the temperatures. So I'll make some crispy dupes and make up some insulation down here. Alright, so before I go and fire this thing up here, there's one system I want to fix or make a little bit of an adjustment to, and that's my oxygen system down here. So I wasn't really happy with how the power system was working since I had to go and kind of fix it that one time. The thing is, I really had to get it back online just to keep the oxygen flowing inside my base. So I do have enough oxygen at this point where I can go a few cycles without oxygen. So, I mean, we got plenty of stuff up here. But I just want to make it run a little bit better. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of rewiring the transformers and the batteries, and then I'll bring power in from the larger grid if I need more power for this area. I did have kind of a control station here at one point, but unfortunately that wasn't very reliable. Like, the duplicates were not tuning up the generator all that often. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. So what I'm going to do here is hook this thing up in such a way that, you know, if I need more power to run all of these, which I should right off the bat here, then I'm going to allow it to pull power in from the main grid here and then feed that together with the hydrogen pump that I have running down here. So this thing is still independent, more or less. You know, it can still generate a good amount of oxygen without any help from the rest of the power grid, but if it needs a boost, then I can produce even more. At least that's what I'm trying to figure out where I can put everything to make that work. Not having a heavy conductive wire bridge is like kind of hard to work around sometimes. Ha ha! What do you think about me now, game? Ah, crap. What's this thing even plugged into? Man, I don't even know. Okay. Oh, I can put a ha! I can put a deodorizer right there. I couldn't put a power transformer on the top of a automation wire block thing, but I can put a deodorizer. Ha. Okay, one last thing, and I should be up and running. What we were dope. Come back. Yes, there we go. See? Not only do things look better down here, they're working a little bit better too. Hear that beautiful hum of a power transformer being completely overworked? Yes, that's the sound of success right there. Good deal. I like to start my day with a bit of wire spaghetti and a side of fried dupe. So let's get back to space here and build ourselves a liquid oxygen system. Do we have our insulation? Did you guys make that? Bruh, there's still 10 available. Like, what are you doing, dupes? Don't make me use ceramic. Okay, so the goal here is to make this really, really small. Really, really small. All right, now, here's the thing. The maximum amount of gas that can flow through a pipe is 1 kilogram per second. The maximum a little mini liquid pump here can do is 1,000, you know what, it's all the same thing, isn't it? It's the same amount. 1,000 grams is the same as 1 kilogram. Imagine that. I'm off to a good start here. The point is I'm going to pair up a mini liquid pump with a gas vent, making just the smallest little liquid oxygen system ever. Just super small. And that, boom, that's it. We're done. Although I think I might scoot it to the right a little bit and kind of get it away from the super hot wall. It might be. And I'm just going to use a normal gas vent inside of here, because if you use a high pressure one, you can build up a little bit too much oxygen and then it struggles. So that will go right there, and then to the right of that, that's going to feed into a little bit of a liquid tank. All right, so that's just going to go right there, and then I'm going to go through a wall, and I'm going to feed a liquid tank. So that'll be this guy right here. Okay, now the important bit. We need to run through an aqua tuner. So if I am liquid oxygen, if that was me, and I've just returned from a very chilly round trip, where would I want to go? I think right here is where I'd want it to be. Just right there. Boom. That way it's in line with everything else that I'm doing right here, so we can kind of all tie it together. Excuse me. That looks like steam inside of there. A few more degrees and this bad boy is going to start producing power. Okay, the only thing I don't like about this is that it's like a lot of steel that's just kind of running around, and I'd rather use that. Plunk. Alright, so what else can I run through there that won't melt, but will do what I want it to do, which is transfer thermal energy. And I happen to have enough of it to fill up a conveyor rail. Obsidian doesn't melt until 2,000 degrees Celsius, has a specific heat capacity of 0.2, which is okay, but the thermal conductivity is kind of poop. There's a better way to look through this. So if I come over here to the oxygen not included database, right? And then we go to thermal conductivity and we sort by that. Thorium, no. Aluminum, no. Because it melts too low. Diamond, steel, copper. Not a high specific heat capacity. That's not the end of the world. But it does melt at a relatively high temperature. Randolph, how much tungsten can we make? 200 kilograms worth. Although we do have wolframite available, and that's actually all the way down here in the bottom. Wow, this scrolls so fast. So if I take a look at the metal overlay, I know we never used this. Whoa, that's a lot of wolframite available. Here's a tiny little pocket of it. Tell you what, this map just has so many resources, doesn't it? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll probably work out just fine. Okay, I got enough for 1 insulation tile. Watch out, world. Boom. I only need 3, which is another reason why I'm making this super small. It's efficient, it's super efficient. Guys, just keep making a little bit more. And whatever you do, don't lose it. So we'll put some right there, we'll put some right there. And then we can like load up the corners and pretend like it's really fancy insulation. But it's not. Don't worry, we don't have to tell anybody. The dupes won't even notice. Alright, I've made a few tweaks, but this is more or less the idea here. So, essentially, we make this nice and cold, right? So we have our first loop is just going to be this. And then, after we've cooled that down, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this down here to our cooling loop and try to cool down this block of stuff down here. So that way, as the fuel passes through it, it continues to chill down. Thing is, I don't think I want a bridge there. I think I want that to be just like this, and then have that tic-tac back and forth until it's full. So I do that number. Trying to figure this one out. No, I don't think that's what I want to do right there. I think I might have built this 1 tile too low. Maybe. Although I think I know a way around it. So let's keep trying. Yeah, there we go. So the cold should come out right over here, go through the coldest part, which is going to be the condenser, and then goes right down here, and this kind of just maintains the temperature for that liquid loop that should continuously cycle around. As we get more liquid, that should just add itself to the loop until it's full. So we just end up with a system that fills up with liquid oxygen and hopefully stays liquid oxygen without freezing. And here's the real good question. Can I take this whole thing and just move it 2 tiles to the right? Actually, I can. So I have a blueprint now. So we can just cancel the rest of this and deconstruct it. But hey, you know what? That's all part of that's how it works. Thank you, dupes. We planned it out. It works. But just 2 tiles to the right, please. It's all right, it'll go fast. We have all the materials on hand, so it's not a big deal. See, look at that. These dupes are so good at tearing things down. It's only taking them 1 cycle to deconstruct that whole thing. So now if I use the blueprint and I set it to a priority level of 9, they'll just turn around and start building it. Look at them go. Jeez, they're all over the place. All right, so I'm also building an oxygen line here that's just going to run from my main supply after the jet suits into this spot over here for the rockets. So it's tapping into the same line that's actually filling up the oxygen inside of my base. The only thing is that I noticed that I have plenty of oxygen inside of here. Most dupes are not living in this environment, except for like 1 or 2. So that's not a big deal. So the extra oxygen here that flows past those suits, they can flow right into this area. Now I'm using a lot in the suits right now because I have lots of duplicates that are flying around, but that won't be forever. Okay, never mind. It will totally be forever, won't it? But hopefully not forever, ever. You know what I'm saying. All right, dupes, I'd like you to empty this pipe if possible. Yeah, nope. Nobody's gonna do it. You know what? If I get rid of this tile right here and make that a heavy watt joint like this, then I could just bring power in like that. Boom, and I'm done. That would be pretty handy. And it's still made out of the same material. Nice. I'm making all of these tiles and pipes out of gold, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Tends to work pretty good for this kind of stuff. Ooh, there we go. The rocket is off and ready for another launch. This means we might get enough heat up here. Yeah. Ooh, look at how hot that drywall and everything is back there. Toasty. The steam's getting hotter. You know you want to run. This goes above 150. Cool. If it goes below 130, we turn it off. And if that thing is below, if it is above 200, then I open it up. Okay, so I'm going to switch this up a little bit. We can kind of do this number. Conveyor bridge, we'll do this number right back here. I'll get rid of that centerpiece. All right, so I emptied all of the steel out of this loop. So what I'm going to do is replace that with tungsten, which I should have created quite a bit of by now. Durandolph, I'm looking at you, bud. Where you at? Tungsten 200. Durandolph, are you sleeping on the job? No, it's because it's disabled. Ah, there you go. Re-enable that. I'm trying to run the game at super speed. I'll see if it blows up or not. See, this is how you get them to empty the pipes. Yellow alert. Always works. This is gonna be my go-to thing forever. Let's say we want to get all this stuff done. There you go. Yeah, this is nice and efficient. All right, so when it comes to running this loop and checking its temperature, I'm just going to run the pipe right over here. I'll check the temperature right there, and if it needs to, it's just going to jump across while getting cooled. Otherwise, it's just going to pass right past this, and then I'll use a liquid bridge just like that to jump over it. Now, since this is super coolant, I don't have to worry about it getting too cold, unless I actually want to run into the situation where I'm freezing my oxygen, which I don't think is going to be a problem, because I should have tight enough control to where that isn't going to be an issue. Hey, look at this thing. It's producing some steam. Look at that. Awesome. So how hot did it get? It just went right over 150 degrees Celsius. We're turning out some steam. What's the temperature of the steam turbine? 62 degrees Celsius. What's the temperature of the loop? 57. Ha! Ha! Rocket power! And what do we have here? More tungsten. So what is the other destinations that are close by? What do you have? Diamond. You have 30% diamond. You have 31% diamond. You know what? Maybe I just have a ton of diamond now. Maybe I could just load this up with diamond. I have made a fair number of runs by now. Diamond. Figure out what tab that thing's under. There it is, miscellaneous, 5.1 tons. Well, that's a pretty good amount. It isn't massive. I think I still need 2 tons or so for the DNA statue. Plus, I'd probably need some down here for these windows because it seemed like diamond worked pretty good down here. Let's see how much I have after I do this number. Okay, I still have enough for the statue, but I spent quite a bit just to make that block. All right, so now for the real trick. I have to connect the steam turbine up to the top of this thermal aqua tuner so that it doesn't cook itself, because that would be bad. And I'm also going to have to figure out where this pipe can go into that liquid fuel tank, which I moved it, but unfortunately I think I moved it in the wrong spot. Just like everything else I've moved. But whatever, it happens. The point is, I think this little plan here works out. So I should be able to pattern that down, but there's probably going to be a weird gap between this one and wherever this pattern ends, which will probably just be one more turbine right down here. And that's where I can run the liquid fuel right across. Or I could just kind of run it up on the outside, I guess. I could do that too. There's other options. All right, so I'll just build a few more tiles here just to kind of decorate things up a little bit. That'll be good. And we're going to run this pipe here with its beautiful supercoolant right down here. So it'll feed in right into that spot. So hopefully if this all works out, I should have a nice full loop of supercoolant that just runs right here through there, back over, checks its temperature. Then on top of that, I'm going to have a steam turbine. Woo, wrong button, right there. And just like that. So should I connect this to the rocket or not? I kind of feel like I shouldn't, but I do have control over the door, so maybe it'll work out. I'm gonna give it a go. All right, so we can see that this steam turbine is actually working really good now. One thing I'm doing here is I'm just adding temperature shift plates to the walls. So as things get hot, hopefully these will build up some thermal energy inside of them from the gases that the rocket gives off, and that can be delivered to the wall and shipped over here to the turbines. I feel like creating a really big conveyor line that just kind of goes back and forth here. I mean, that would capture some from the rockets, but I feel like most of the mass is going to be in the walls. So if I'm going to focus my efforts anywhere, it's going to be in the walls. All right, just a few more tiles and we should have it. What I will need is a little bit of water down here. So let's see if we can find that pipe for water. That would be this one. Matter of fact, I think this one needs some water too, so might as well do that one while I'm at it. All right, so when I pattern this down, this is where it ends up. So I can stack 1, 2, 3 of these right on top of each other, and then I end up with kind of a double tile right there. So that's a little weird, but I'm just gonna roll with it. And you can see that we're bringing in the water right there, so that's good. I don't really want too much to go in there. How much do we already have? That should be enough. This is where this little tool is just come in so handy. We could just kind of pick. So that is probably not going to be hot enough to turn a lot of that into steam just yet. But if I work on connecting the rest of these conveyor rails potentially together, maybe that's enough. Or maybe I keep them separate. I'm not 100% sure. I think I want to keep them separate. They just have the zones that they work in, like right here and then right there. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. What do you... This one's just making a mess. But the same cooling loop is used in all 4 steam turbines here. If we take a closer look at that. So this one unit right there is just going to cool all 4 of them. I think that's pretty cool. Y'all are ignoring that. Dupes? No? You don't want to do that? You'd rather build something else? Just gotta bring the dupe from the other side of the map to do the top priority thing. I see how it is. Oh, that was just to deliver. Alright, so there we go. I now have some steam down there. I think I want more than that. That's only like 2 kilograms worth. So, I'll reconnect that. And then, Kinzilla here is going to empty another bottle in there. The pump picks it up just before it rolls off into the vacuum of space. Oh yeah, see, now we have lots of steam. Alright, so I got the thermal aqua tuner up and running here, but it is not running smooth. So what I need to do here is empty one of these pipes. Hopefully that smooths things out. I think I just have 1 packet too many in that loop. So let's send a dupe over here just to empty one of those packets. Let's see what happens. What are you doing, dupes? What are you doing? What are you doing? No, 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 no. No! You dumped supercoolant on the floor next to a vacuum tile. Crap. Got too many things going on here. Alright, let's empty this thing. Pancake King. There you go. Okay, all I wanted was one. How does that work now? See, now it's running nice and smooth. Perfect. So we can set this to sweep only, supercoolant. Right at level 9, and we will just sweep this stuff up. There we go. Okay, now how do I disable this thing? We could set it to a high temperature. There we go. Ha! Okay, it was about to melt itself down here. That would not be good. We need this steam turbine to be up and running so that it can actually cool down this aqua tuner while it's trying to do its thing. I wasn't really planning to build these two, but they kind of just ended up happening. So, I guess that is what that is. You, being water, I want you to go in over here. And this should mean that just about all of my steam turbines here are airtight. Once I get this last piece built right there. So that means I can go ahead and plumb these up just like that. Haha. Okay, yes. And then I can deconstruct that. And just, yes, good. Forgot that one sensor. All right, priority level, please. Drives me nuts that I forgot that. So now I'm going to lose all that steam. Which I guess isn't the worst thing in the world. That means I can cool this back down. Come on. Oh, of course, you built the one over the door, which closes the door. Dupes. Why can't anything be easy? Not one single thing. All right, there we go. No, Val, don't turn around. There we go, just rebuild the door. Thank you. No! Nickel, are you sleeping on the job here? Was the steel that's right here not good enough for you, Kenzilla? Is that why I had to wait an entire night just to have that one tile built? And... just one more joint plate, please, dupes. Please? Please! I see all the iron right there. It's all right there. Right there, just walk over here, you build it, and we're done. That's it. Last piece. Last piece. There we go. So now it's for some brine or salt water or whatever else we want to throw down there. I don't really care. That water is just going to flow over here. So I guess that one's already filled. That one needs a little bit more. And now, what is up with these pipes? These pipes are so messed up. They're just all wrong. Okay, that one. Tell you what, we can go ahead and start bringing in the oxygen here to this guy. And if my dupes can't deliver oxygen up here, well, then I will just find another way. I'll just bring the oxygen in right over here. Boom, problem solved. Oops, not that priority. Oh no. Problem solved. So if this goes above 150, there we go. It'll turn on. If it's below 130, it'll turn off. Same thing with this one, 150. And below 130. Just need a little bit more water. We can deconstruct that. We don't need that one anymore. Oxygen. Excuse me? All right, so there we go. Now I got some water flowing into that bottom location. So I'm rebuilding all of that steam. That's good to go. If this is above negative 200 degrees Celsius, then it should run. Which means it's going to run right now, which means I'm waiting for the temperature to come up high enough so that I can get that power back out into the steam turbine. Good deal. Which means I no longer need water up there. All right. So boom, just like that. We're cooling that stuff down. We can take a look at the temperatures here. We're currently at negative 37 degrees. I really hope this loop works. It's been a surprisingly long build. But then again, I wasn't really planning to build all of this, but I ended up building all of this. Uh-oh, now it's telling me it's too hot. Oh crap, hold up. How hot are we down here? Generator too hot. Okay, so what's the temperature that I'm maintaining this loop at? Oh, like 70 some degrees. Let's actually drop that down to 20. we'll crank it down. Make that nice and cold. That should hopefully cool this steam turbine down, and hopefully the rest of them as well. Wow, that's still hot. Well, that's way too hot. Come on. At least run a little bit of steam every now and then, please. Well, let's see if I can add some more water to see if I can cool this thing down a little bit. Right now it's so hot down there, I just don't really have a way to cool it down right now. I mean, I'm trying, but... Oh, well, that's the problem. I guess I forgot the drywall back here behind that vent. Oh well, hey, at least that's a better problem than what I thought was happening. How'd that ever get up to 2 kilograms inside of there? Huh. I don't know, maybe I deconstructed it or something. Or maybe I was looking at this one and not that one. I'm not sure. Luckily, I can go ahead and build drywall through a corner tile here, so that won't be too big of an issue. Help me out, Ren. Help! Okay, so now let's just do that number. We'll get some atmosphere in there. Ah, yeah, see? Now you're happy, aren't you? Good deal. All right, so now let's get this thing down to below 200 degrees Celsius. Oh, I've now been at this for 3.5 hours. That's a lot for like the smallest little oxygen system I've ever built. Welcome to space. Hey, by the way, we completed some research. Good job, dupes. Which means we can go ahead and start to research that last bit of stuff, which is going to be the unique cargo. And it looks like Catalina is not catching fire this time. That's a real nice bonus. Her data was so hot that it was on fire. Matter of fact, you can see some of it. It's right down here, just smoking away. Some hot stuff, let me tell you what. And look at this, what do we have? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm seeing some liquid oxygen. Almost. Come on, you can do it. Pump not in liquid. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that's gonna be dangerous. But hopefully it hits this and cools down. Yes, yes. And then when it flows back, well, it's not flowing back, it's actually just flowing into the tank. Okay. Okay, so it takes about a ton of fuel here to boost this up to 50,000. Okay, but actually I want to have a cargo bay and 3 research modules. So make that 1,170. Look at that oxygen just flowing in there. Boom, turning straight to liquid. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see. And then you can see the liquid as it's flowing out. It's at 1 kilogram right now, which, as we know, is if you're at 1 kilogram or below, it doesn't burst within the pipes. So that's pretty handy, although the temperature is maintaining a cool enough temperature throughout the loop, so that's good too. But when we start to go into the higher numbers right there, and packet starts to stack on top of each other, it's going to be chilled every time it runs through here. It'll also be kind of really chilled a little bit right here. I don't know if that's big enough. We can also see that we're getting power from the top steam turbine here, and it's trying to keep everything cool, which it is actually doing a really good job of, so maybe I'll just set that back towards, I don't know, 10 degrees or something. That way I don't end up freezing my steam turbines. Which means this rocket is ready to go. Sweet, we're going to get some power out of it. So this right now is at 380 watts. Once those doors open and this thing blasts off, we'll see what that power goes up to. Take a look at the temperatures here. Ooh. So we're at 350 right now. The gas is lingering, the heat is absorbing. We're up to 360. You can see the walls there made it up to 200 degrees Celsius, so not quite as hot as I would have thought, but it don't look the same actually. I think I get more power out of the regolith. But you know what? I think we're off to a good start here. So now I'm just going to go ahead and maximize our gas capture. We'll start to expand the power system here. All right, let's take a look at these temperatures. We're right at negative 200 degrees Celsius. That is like perfect, right on the money of what I set it to. How about that? Wow, I'm surprised at just how stable these temperatures are. 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, perfect. So you know what that means is if I go over here and we look at this, I can go all the way down to negative 218. I can turn this up a little bit. Should probably save it first. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to get rid of all this drywall back here and just replace it with wallpaper. Same with what I'm doing right here, just to kind of make it look better, make me feel a little bit better. Plus, I might be able to build something fast for once. But I'm excited about this liquid oxygen thing. Like, that's working pretty good. And the temperatures seem to be real nice. So as fast as I can feed it oxygen, it's converting it into liquid, which is a really a nice thing. So actually, if I just do this number, we can bring all that oxygen back. And this should very quickly just turn into liquid oxygen. Boom, boom, just like that. Look at it go. I guess that just goes to show that you really don't need like a large radiator or something like that to really make liquid oxygen. I might try the same thing with hydrogen and just set up multiple cells so that we can really have multiples running together. Because liquid hydrogen seems to take a little bit longer to convert. You can't really convert it at exactly 1 kilogram per second. It just simply takes more energy, so it's a little bit more difficult. So I tell you what, here's what I'm going to do with the shipping rail. I'm actually going to make one big, long, continuous loop, just like this, and I'm going to include this bottom window tile right here to the loop. So it'll just be one big thing that goes up and around, and if I need the heat here, then that's where I can absorb it. If not, it's just going to keep moving on to the next thing. So that's going to be the plan for this first silo over here. But that'll have to happen here in the next episode, because today's been plenty long. But at least we got the liquid oxygen up and running today, so that's good. Although now, now it needs more oxygen. Always something to do. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode here of Oxygen Not Included. If this looks like the channel for you, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay awesome. Peace. Brothgar out.